is through marriage. You have to get married. And then when the ayah talks about marriage, it starts with this. It says, وَأَنْكِحُوا الْأَيَامَ مِنْكُمْ وَالصَّالِحِينَ مِنْ عِبَادِكُمْ. Make marriage for those who are singles, either female or male. The suitable ones, let them get married. So the call, the order, is not for the singles, not for the children, rather to who? To the elders, to the parents. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is putting the call toward the parents to follow on. It says, وَأَنْكِحُوا الْأَيَامَ مِنْكُمْ. It is not the duty of the child, not the duty of the youth to go and search for his spouse, although he's the one who will end up living with them. But it is the responsibility of the elders, the guardians, be it his father, his mother, her father, her mother, to facilitate this, to help the youth get married. This is number one responsibility of the adults, the elders. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi and Imam al-Sajjad alayhi salam says that one of the rights of a child upon his parents, once he is born, first of all, to give him a good name, second, to educate him, and third, to make him get married. So it is a responsibility of the parents. They should not say that my child is still young, let's wait for a while. No, Islam mandates to go after marriage and go and search for a suitable spouse. We will come back again to this topic. What else Islam does? Islam removes any obstacle in way of marriage. Any two consenting adults, responsible adults, they can get married. There is no need for a clergy. There is no need for witness. This is according to the school of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. We don't require a witness to oversee the marriage contract. The two by themselves, they can initiate that. There is even no need for an imam or a clergy to do that. It is a contract. It's a sighat al-aqd. They can pronounce it and they become husband and wife. Saying that, there are some conditions that are applicable for marriage. For example, if the lady is not been married yet, she's still bachelor, it requires the consent of her father. Her father has to give the consent for the marriage. Once there is a consent of father for the daughter, khalas. There is no other condition, there is no other obstacle to wait, to be in the way of getting married. This is how simple Islam makes weddings and makes marriage. The second thing, Islam is not pro big dowry. Unfortunately, nowadays, it's been a custom that a family, in order to say that we have such a high prestige, my daughter worth a lot, therefore they put big amounts of dowries. Dowry is symbolic, brothers and sisters. In return, when you give your daughter to her husband, in return, what do you get? Even if they give you the entire planet, is not enough. She's so dear to you. So the dowry is not a materialistic exchange, that you are exchanging your daughter with money. Rather, it's a symbolic, it's a nice gesture from the son-in-law to come with a dowry and ask the hand of your daughter. That's what he asked. And the condition, let's continue with this one, brothers and sisters. Islam, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, emphasized in two criteria. Anyone who faces somebody who comes to propose for his daughter, or he wants to go and ask the hand of his wife, future wife, there are two criteria only. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi says, "Man ja'akum man tardawna deenahu wa khuluquhu fazawwijuhu." Whoever comes to you asking the hand of your daughters, look for two things. Only two things, not a third one. And Rasulullah is the most knowledgeable one. Rasulullah is the most merciful one. The Rasulullah is the most wise one. If he needed, he would have added other things. But he said only two criteria. Number one, deen, religion, faith, and second one, akhlaq, his demeanor, his behavior. If those two are complete, do not search for other things. Do not ask for his bank account. Do not ask what kind of work he's doing, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already guaranteed for that. He said, إِن يَكُونُوا فُقَرَاء يُغْنِهُمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ. If they are poor, if they don't have the means, I will provide. The same God that has been providing for you over all those years, He also will provide for your son, will provide for your daughter. Do not worry. Nowadays, if you want to do something, and a rich man comes and tells you, don't worry, I will take care of it. Go ahead, do your plan, and send me the bills. Don't you go and do that thing? But why when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises something, we don't believe it? Allah asdaq as-sadiqeen. Allah never lies to you. He is the same one who gave you your provisions and your food while you were in the stomach of your mother, in the womb of your mother, and you grew so much. He is the same one. He is promising, telling you once you see a suitable person coming to your daughter, ask for those two things. Once he suffices those two things, do not ask for other things. Let me warn you, brothers and sisters, when you say deen and khuluq, what do we mean? We don't mean by khuluq or deen is the prayers, that he does the salat and fasting and go to hajj. Those are the apparent things, but those are not the core thing. The core thing, Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam explains. Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam says, لا يغرنكم في الرجل كثرة صلاته وصيامه. Do not be tricked by the amount of prayers or fasting or grabbing a tasbih and saying tasbih for the guy. Don't be tricked by that. Rather test the guy how he deals with his brothers and sisters. His dealing, does he cheat? Does he lie? Is he an honest person? Is he a trustworthy? If so, then this person is considered to be having faith. He is considered to be faithful. But just by practicing prayer, Imam Zayn al-Abidin says sometimes he gets used to it. I get used to it. Ever since I was a child, I saw that my parents always do the prayers. Therefore, it became a habit for me. I do it regardless, whatever. We should not pay attention to the prayers alone or to the fasting alone. Rather, we should see how the person is dealing with others, how honest and respectable person is. And here is the reward. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi puts the reward for whoever helps facilitate someone to get married. He said alayhi sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, says, من زوج أعزبا كان ممن ينظر الله إليه من ينظر الله عز وجل إليه يوم القيامة. Whoever helps anyone to get married, a single man, it's not someone who has another wife to you help him to get married. No, a single person. That single person, if you help him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will look upon you by mercy. You will be contained by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At the same time that Islam helps removing any obstacle from getting married, it makes the illegal things more tough and more difficult. Therefore, it says haram for khalwa. Remember when we discussed this topic the other night? Cannot be the man and woman who are not related to each other be together alone by themselves. It is haram. It is haram to be mixing the genders in a way that defeats the purpose, or it is against chastity and modesty and respect. Sometimes they get together, they discuss things, but in a respectful way, in an Islamic way. That's fine, that should be encouraged. But when it goes to parties, and then it goes uncontrolled, and then there is a flirtatious things, Islam says no. This is haram. Also, Islam discourages divorce. So there should not be divorce. Of course, divorce is halal in Islam.